So we keep getting these immigration horror stories under Trump, where the bottom line is, it's like, there are no rules. There are no rules. You have no rights. They could just do whatever the fuck they want to you, and you have to deal with it. And so it's a real throwback, not only to like pre-constitutional days, but pre-fucking Magna Carta days. I mean, this shit is truly, truly primitive and insanely authoritarian. We're talking about rounding people up, sending them to a concentration camp, not even keeping a record of who sent where. We've heard those horror stories. Somebody gets disappeared. There's no track record. They have no idea where they are. This has happened many, many times. And so it's only gotten worse and worse over time. Stephen Miller, who's running immigration policy, is literally just a Nazi. Did you guys see that video that came out of him? I believe it was in 2003, where he was saying how torture is actually really humane. It's a very humane thing to do, and we should do more of it. This is what we're talking about. Now this guy's running fucking immigration policy, ordering the ICE Gestapo thugs to break the law on a daily fucking basis and raid 7-Elevens and raid Home Depots and round up day laborers and ruin people's fucking lives. So now we have a new report that just came out, and all the horrors you can imagine are unfolding right now. So look at this. This is in The Guardian. Migrants at ICE jail in Miami made to kneel to eat like dogs, report alleges. Incident in which migrants were shackled with hands tied, one of succession of alleged abuses at jails in Florida. Migrants at a Miami immigration jail were shackled with their hands tied behind their backs and made to kneel to eat food from styrofoam plates like dogs, according to a report published Monday into conditions at 3 overcrowded South Florida facilities. So let me just pause to point out, we're not even talking about alligator Alcatraz, which is the worst of all of them. There's worms in the food in alligator Alcatraz. The temperature gets as high as 81 fucking degrees in there. People are struggling. I mean, it floods anytime there's even like a minor amount of rain. That's alligator Alcatraz. We're not even talking about those. We're talking about the facilities which are supposed to be better than those facilities. They say the incident at the downtown Federal Detention Center is one of a succession of alleged abuses at jails operated by ICE in the state since January, chronicled by the advocacy groups Human Rights Watch, Americans for Immigrant Justice, and Sanctuary of the South from interviews with detainees. Dozens of men had been packed into a holding cell for hours, the report said, and denied lunch until about 7 p.m. They remained shackled with the food on chairs in front of them. Quote, "We had to eat like animals," one detainee named Pedro said. Degrading treatment by guards is commonplace in all 3 jails, the group say. At the Chrome North Service Processing Center in West Miami, female detainees were made to use toilets in full view of men being held there and were denied access to gender-appropriate care, showers, or adequate food. The jail was so far beyond capacity, some transferring detainees reported that they were held for more than 24 hours in a bus in the parking lot. Men and women were confined together and unshackled only when they needed to use the single toilet, which quickly became clogged. Quote, "The bus became disgusting. It was the type of toilet in which normally people only urinate, but because we were on the bus for so long and we were not permitted to leave it, others defecated in the toilet," one man said. Because of this, the whole bus smelled strongly of feces. When the group was finally admitted into the facility, they said, many spent up to 12 days crammed into a frigid intake room they christened La Hielera, which is the icebox, with no bedding or warm clothing, sleeping instead on the cold concrete floor. There was so little space at Chrome and so many detainees, the report says, that every available room was used to hold new arrivals. By the time I left, almost all the visitation rooms were full. A few were so full men couldn't even sit. All had to stand, Andrea, a female detainee, said. At the third facility, the Broward Transitional Center in Pompano Beach, where a 44-year-old Haitian woman, Mary Ange Blaise, died in April, detainees said they were routinely denied adequate medical or psychological care. Some suffered delayed treatment for injuries and chronic conditions and dismissive or hostile responses from staff. In one alleged incident in April at the downtown Miami jail, staff turned off a surveillance camera and a disturbance control team brutalized detainees who were protesting about a lack of medical attention to one of their number who was coughing up blood. One detainee suffered a broken finger. Jesus Christ. All 3 facilities were severely overcrowded, the former detainee said, a contributory factor to Florida's decision to quickly build the controversial alligator Alcatraz jail. Immigration detention numbers nationally were at an average of 56,400 a day in mid-June, with almost 72% having no criminal history, according to the report. The daily average during the whole of 2024 was 37,500, Human Rights Watch said. They're upping this to 100,000, guys. They're upping it to fucking 100,000 a day. Jesus fucking Christ. The group say that the documented abuses reflect inhumane conditions inside federal immigration facilities that have worsened significantly since Trump's January inauguration and subsequent push to ramp up detentions and deportations. The anti-immigrant escalation and enforcement tactics under the Trump administration are terrorizing communities and ripping families apart, which is especially cruel in the state of Florida, which thrives because of its immigrant communities. The rapid, chaotic, and cruel approach to arresting and locking people up is literally deadly and causing a human rights crisis that will plague this state and the entire country for years to come. That's the thing people are not really grasping, bro. What's happening right now is an historic atrocity. In the same way we're watching literally a brand new live-streamed Holocaust in Gaza right now, what we're looking at here at home is the full dehumanization of immigrants and basically a campaign to try to ethnically cleanse this country and turn it into a white ethno-state. That's really what's at the core of this. That's really what's at the heart of this. Now, will they be able to get all the way there? I don't know. That's a tough one to figure out. But they're certainly fucking trying, which is why they said it's only 72% of people with no criminal record. No, it's actually, I read 92% of people, no criminal record whatsoever. Being rounded up, being detained, being held in concentration camps. They just want to send 30,000 people to Guantanamo Bay. They want to send more people to Alligator Alcatraz as well. They want to build more Alligator Alcatraz-like systems. And remember, we're talking about, at these places, no human rights. There's no track record of you. They do what they want with you. This is the thing that's most terrifying, is that under this second Trump regime, it has been the death of due process in a way which I don't think previously occurred to me that this could be a thing. I don't think it previously occurred to me that it's on the menu, that at some point we can get back to a place where they don't keep a record of you. There's no process that you go through. They just do whatever they want with you and deal with the consequences later. And oftentimes, there are no consequences. Because even if a court says, hey, you can't do that, they go, okay, make me stop. And then nothing happens, right? And that's where we are. That's what we're witnessing. And so now, you get these horror stories. And I want to reiterate, guys. These are the facilities that are supposed to be the better facilities. These are the ones nobody was talking about. What were we talking about? We were talking about CCOT, the concentration camp in El Salvador. We were talking about Gitmo. We were talking about Alligator Alcatraz. We're talking about the new concentration camps they're building. These are the old ICE facilities, which nobody thought about, nobody cared about. Everybody assumed everything goes swimmingly and smoothly over there. No, they're doing systemic torture on a daily basis to innocent people, ruining their lives. And this is our country now. This is our country now. This is what we do now. God, man, it's so terrible, especially because all these people, I know we've talked about this a lot, but immigrants really are the best of us. I don't know about you guys, but personally in my life, all the immigrants I've met, they're super hardworking, they're super family-oriented, they're super polite and nice. They take care of their business, they handle what they got to handle, and they go home. This is, it's just, you can see why they have a lower rate of criminality among them. You can see why they have higher social cohesion. You can see why they end up succeeding relatively quickly in this country. And now that we're just waging a war on these people, at the same time, we're also doing brain drain. So all of our hardest working people are basically being kicked out of this country and being screwed over. At the same time, our smartest people are being kicked out of this country and screwed over. It's like they're rushing to make this country more primitive, more idiotic, and they're getting there quickly. They're getting there quickly. So, man, it's basically a war on humanity on all fronts. That's what this regime is doing, and they're largely getting away with it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.